tips and advice for beauty therapists, whether you're still studying and you're applying for jobs or whether you are fresh out of college, these tips will be helpful for you. The first piece of advice is not to be disheartened if you're finding it hard to look for a job. For some people it's really easy to find a job, and for others it's harder, it takes a bit more time. If you have some sort of experience it's going to be easier for you, but yeah, if you have no work experience whatsoever it's going to take a little bit longer to find a company that will accept you and train you. Another tip, don't turn down good opportunities because you're not confident. Which is silly, because if you are offered a position that you think is a little bit out of your league, well, that person wouldn't have offered you the job if they didn't think you were able to. So try not to let your confidence get in the way. Even if you take that opportunity and it doesn't go well, it's not the end of the world. It's actually a good thing that you tried it. It's a form of experience. Another very important piece of advice, don't let people take advantage of you. I mean this in terms of things like beauty therapists who swap treatments round and give you treatments that they don't want to do. Not every salon is going to be like this, but some salons I've worked at, there are certain beauty therapists who, if they have a full body massage in their column and they don't want to do it, they will give it to the new girl. There was this one beauty therapist who I worked with who took advantage of a lot of people. She would do certain things like, if I just finished a client and that client tipped me £5, next time that client books in, she would move that client into her column so that she gets that £5 tip. I felt sick just by describing what she did, so I don't even know how she did stuff like that. Like, who thinks of that? I'm just telling you, just so you are prepared, when it comes to certain things like this, that is when you shouldn't let it happen. Keep your eyes open, look and observe at what's going around. You know, look at what treatments you have on each day, maybe take pictures of them as proof. Next piece of advice is not to compare yourself to other beauty therapists. There is no competition. Everybody learns at different rates. Everyone's got their strengths and their weaknesses. There are some beauty therapists who are average in all treatments. Moving on to my next piece of advice. Now, I have had a few new beauty therapists and students message me saying that they really want to be good. I want to be the best beauty therapist. What can I do? And it's just like, hold your horses, relax. It's very nice to hear that there are students and new beauty therapists out there that are aiming so high and they're just so eager to learn and be the best straight away, but you really need to relax. Okay, it takes time. It takes a minimum of 5 years to become an experienced beauty therapist. Of course, there are people who have 1 year experience and they just get it like that and they're really good, but as a whole, looking at it in general, on average it takes about 5 years to be experienced. So just take it one day at a time, one step at a time. Look at your strengths and your weaknesses. Focus on working on your weaknesses and making your strengths even stronger. Enjoy the process. Be patient. Another tip is to exercise. I personally hate the gym. I really envy those who are addicted to the gym. I wish I loved it, but when I'm in the gym, the only thing I think of, okay, this is too hard, this is too heavy, my butt is sweating, my top lip is sweating, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I feel like people are looking at me, I want to get out of here. I still force myself to go once a week and it does make a difference for me. So I'm lucky my partner is a personal trainer. I think I started exercising maybe 3 or 4 years into being a beauty therapist, which is really bad. I had really bad back pain, wrist pain, I had to go physio, but as soon as I started to strengthen my core, it helped my back pain. My next piece of advice is to stay at the first salon that you've ever worked at for at least a year, but no more than 2 years. This can vary on the salon that you work at, but in general it takes 1 year for you to learn everything that you need to learn in one salon. My next piece of advice is, if someone is teaching you something, pay attention and maybe take notes, maybe bring in a small notebook, because there is going to be a lot that you need to learn. If you're working in a very busy salon, they might not have time to, well, they might not make the time to show you and train you properly. They might throw you in the deep end and you have to learn the hard way. So if somebody is going to teach you something and they take their time out to teach you something, please pay attention and take notes. It will show that you're eager to learn as well. And like, I remember when I was teaching the new girl something and she was on her phone, it upsets me even more because I get messages from students who clearly they're so desperate for a job or they're so eager to learn, and then I have this new girl at work who doesn't appreciate her position. So yeah, keep your phone in your bag, in your locker, away. Only look at it when you're on lunch. I understand if you need to keep it on you because you need to check the time, but you know, you could get one of those little fob watches or a watch. My next tip is to stick to how you were trained for the most part. If you stick to how you were trained, you will cover your butt. Some beauty therapists develop little shortcuts or little tips and tricks. Some of them are really good, but some of them they just do purely from laziness. And if something goes wrong, you haven't done it to how you were trained, so you'll get in trouble. Also, clients will notice if you're doing something slightly differently. I have had so many clients say, oh, the other beauty therapist does it differently. Oh, that beauty therapist doesn't do it like this, she does it like this. I've covered my back. I just say, this is how I was trained. It's simple as that. Now, another piece of advice. You may get some people who will give you constructive feedback. Take it on board. Don't take it very personally. Just make sure that you take a note of it and you work on it. Just remember that feedback that you get is going to make you a better beauty therapist. Another tip I have is if you are a new beauty therapist, you will most likely be used to, even if you've been a beauty therapist for a long time, you might be used to working with certain tools. So if you want to bring in your own tools, like your own cuticle nippers is a very personal thing. You can bring in your own tools to work. You can keep them in your locker. If you don't mind sharing them, you can share them as well. Maybe mark that it is yours so they don't get mixed up with other tools. Maybe with nail polish you can mark it. But yeah, especially when you're a new beauty therapist, you want to make your life easier. So use tools that you're used to working with. My next tip is to simply smile. I've noticed that when someone is new, they're really stressed out and you can see it in their face. They don't know where everything is and they're really like panicking. It's just like, calm down, just remember to smile, to stay calm. You're gonna learn eventually. Just again, enjoy the process from you becoming the new girl into one of the respected beauty therapists in that salon. My last piece of advice for new beauty therapists fresh out of college is not to take it personally if a customer doesn't like how you do the treatment. It's very normal. You might not get this at all, but I personally experience this on a regular basis. There are some customers who love the way I do my treatments and some who don't. Don't take it personally. It's just personal preference. Everybody is different. So that is my personal advice for new beauty therapists. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more beauty related videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!